all of these suck.
Why you suck? Just picture.
I hate selfies. Oh, I hate selfies.
It's only a game. Right?
I just sent you an email, Steven. You should look at it.
I'm actually also about to send you an email.
Oh no, what are you sending me? Oh shit. All right. Let's see, almost there.
Are we live?
That's what
I just
she
got the
said.
notification.
We are live. Yeah.
Yep.
We are officially.
No, riveting television right here, folks.
Yeah, I was trying to make it quick. I was trying to get there quick.
Gotta give us a
Again,
heads up.
what she said.
Right? Well, it went live much quicker than it did last week. I was like, holy crap.
Nico, did you also send Steven a picture of Zach?
Yeah.
At least mine was trying to be flattering.
Was it?
Oh,
Yeah.
I just took a screenshot of what he looks like right now and sent that.
That's fun.
I took a screenshot of the one he uploaded with him and KJ at the drive-in this past weekend.
Oh yeah, so yeah,
And
Tina
it
did
zoomed in on
try.
him.
That is
Yeah.
actually halfway nice.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like all the pictures I have are with other people.
Yeah, if only
That's
you could
what
crop people out.
cropping is for.
Yeah, but I look awkward.
You
I
awkward.
need a picture of me with a camera or something.
We haven't done that in a while.
I know.
I'm gonna. My mic is. Oh, I don't know. There's a lag, so
You
I'm
want to jump
gonna
out and jump back in real quick? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that one picture of us all stressed out during 48,
You like that picture?
where we look completely disheveled. What is going on with my camera today?
You suck. That's what's happening.
What is going on here?
I'm just doing the last minute. It went like live way faster than I anticipated. So we are like riveting TV right now. So
I know.
I know I'm trying to be quick.
So is Nico going first or am I going first?
Nico's gonna go first, and then you're gonna go last.
I'm middle.
All right.
She wants to be middle.
I do. And I'm hoping I don't trip stupendously on my tagline. Because it's full of
Spectacular.
alliteration.
Full of alliteration.
Yep.
All right, good. I got it all out. I got it shared. We're done. We're ready to go. Okay. Well then, is everybody ready to do this thing then?
No, because Nico's not back.
Oh shit! I thought I heard him come back. I see him there.
All right, I put my
Oh.
phone on the 5G now since it's sitting right next to the Wi-Fi spot.
So I'm having a very poor man version of a margarita.
Y'all should try that next week. Y'all should try the is it hazelnut?
It is not because
Nico says he's
pecan.
waiting to be let in.
oh, of course he is. It is not hazelnut. It is butter pecan, sir. Get it correct.
It's delicious, is what it is.
It is delicious. Butter pecan moonshine cream.
It goes really well with editing.
Is that
good.
better,
Yeah.
Nico?
Yeah, your voices are matching your lips.
Much better.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, you sound better.
Your voice sounds clear this time.
Yep.
Great.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Let's do this thing. On this episode of the CultureSmash Cast,
Michael Keaton once again will be Batman.
Movie megaplexes make masks mandatory.
What you are about to see is not a news broadcast.
spectacular. Tina wins.
Whee!
the CultureSmash Cast, episode 528 for June the 24th, 2020. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of CultureSmash.tv. Nico?
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Tina?
Tina Heinbach, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Nathan?
Nathan Savino, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
And Zach?
Zach Martin, I hate selfies.
And
Especially
they,
when Steven wants a picture and I don't have any selfies.
and they hate you, too. That's for sure.
Oh.
So what's everybody been up to? And I know what these fools have been doing. What, Nico, Tina, what have you guys been doing?
Staying in mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making a lot of peach stuff because I got me and my brother went halvesies on a 25-pound box of peaches.
Or is that from Peach Truck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So
So it's like peach jelly, peach cobbler.
you
peach
can feel free
fritters.
to bring any of that you like when you come.
It's actually almost gone now. So
Damn, that's a shame.
but yeah, we did that. We had Father's Day dinner at my dad's place, and we raided his garden. So we got a bunch of squash.
Oh yeah, I saw your picture. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was good. And then over the weekend, I participated in Dungeons and Dragons had a live event for one of their new releases over the weekend. So they coordinated a lot of online hour-long preview sessions, and I did 2 of those, and that was pretty fun.
That's cool.
Yep.
So Zach and I have been editing the commercial footage we shot for the place in Gatlinburg, and everything was going very swimmingly until last night when weird stuff started happening, and I almost lost my mind.
Hashtag Gremlins.
It was bizarre, and I still don't understand what went wrong, but basically imagine you're writing a Word document and then sentences start disappearing, and then you notice
And the ones that don't disappear move to another page.
Yeah, they've moved to another page, and then you're noticing extra spaces between words, and you haven't done any of this.
Oh, so your footage is haunted. Got it.
Right,
dude. If that was the simple explanation, I'd be happy.
I mean, that is a simple explanation.
Yeah, because I can solve that one. But yeah, we were able to recover it, thank goodness, because it was over half a day of work that almost got lost, and I would have been very upset about that. But so it's nearly done now. So that's the cool part.
You looked at me like you were about to murder me.
Because I was not thrilled.
And I'm about to get murdered for something I didn't do.
Well, I mean, honestly, had I been certain that it was your fault, you probably would have been murdered. But I wasn't certain. So, I couldn't.
Thank God for that. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about some movie stuff. I'm excited for movie stuff. Zach, you have a story.
Oh yeah, I do, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Joel Schumacher, director of films like Falling Down, The Lost Boys, Flatliners, Batman and Robin, Phantom of the Opera.
I mean, he did direct it. I mean, it's not a yes or no thing. It's a thing that happened.
Unfortunately, has died from a year-long battle with cancer. He was 80 years old. Schumacher developed a reputation for spotting young talent, including Colin Farrell, Kiefer Sutherland, Matthew McConaughey, and Brad Renfro. Don't know who that is, to be honest with you.
I know the name. I can't picture the face though.
So it's kind of really sad. It is nice, when this information came out, that a lot of people weren't dogging on him.
Yeah.
For Batman and Robin, because it was pretty well known that he came out and said he was sorry, but I don't think he should have to apologize for it.
I don't think you should ever apologize for your work.
We're starting
to blame people,
murder. Not murder, death.
Well, it's just, wait. Does Nathan know something that the rest of us don't know?
Right.
Yeah, I'm we're starting off with death. This is the best podcast ever.
Traditionally, that's the way we've always started with to get this out of the way, so then we can move on to better stuff.
Yeah.
We usually start with dicks.
Well, no, we did used to start with dicks.
We
did.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, we all talked at the beginning, so that was starting with dicks.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. So I've told you guys my Joel Schumacher story, right?
Not that I remember.
I don't remember. I'm sure you haven't told our audience.
Okay, so here it is. I really love a lot of Joel Schumacher stuff. I love Flatliners, and Lost Boys is it doesn't
Great
necessarily
story.
hold up. Okay, so here's the story. So my very first documentary feature, when I sent it out to film festivals, I sent it to South by Southwest, which I didn't know too much about South by at that point in time, but I just had heard it was supposed to be really good festival. So I sent it. And it was one of those situations where I didn't hear anything. They usually send you a letter that says, basically, fuck you, go away. Or they send you an email or give you a phone call that says, hey, you're in. Cool, good for you. So I didn't get anything for a long time past the deadline when it was supposed to be announced. And finally, I got an email that said, we love your film. We are really tight on space and we're trying to figure it out because we want your film in the festival. Hang tight, we'll let you know, right? So I was like, okay. So I waited. Weeks later, someone called me from the festival and they said, I swear, we're still working on it. We really like your film. We want to try and get it in. You're just going to have to hang tight a little longer. And it was a problem for me because it was coming up on the festival, trying to plan to
Oh,
go
so you don't know whether to get like a plane ticket out there or not.
Exactly. And that's why I think that's why they went to the extra steps they were going to, because I've never had another festival do this. And then just a few weeks, like maybe 3 weeks before the festival, they finally called me again. They apologized to me. And they said, we just couldn't figure it out. We couldn't afford the screen time, because I learned later what it costs to rent a screen in a theater for a day. And I've learned a lot since then. They're like, we have another movie. It's an important film. And we just can't, there's nothing we can do, basically. And we're really sorry. And I'm like, well, what was the film? And they're like, well, we're under contract. We really can't say. And I'm like, you can't say? What is that? I didn't know what that meant. And a week before the festival, I get an email from the person that I was talking to that sent me a press release that said, here's the movie. And it was a Phone Booth, Joel Schumacher's movie.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait a minute. Phone Booth, was that the one with
has
Colin
Colin Farrell
Farrell.
in it.
Yeah.
It was one of the very first.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, it got credit for being
It
one
was
of the very
like
first.
right after Colin Farrell kind of broke out with Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. And it was one of the very first credited. There were others before it, but the first big credited digital film that was shot on digital cameras
that
and
was
all
a
this
big
stuff.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and my initial reaction was I was pissed. I wrote Joel Schumacher off. I'm like, this movie is a big movie. Why is he getting preferential treatment at a film festival when his movie's coming out and going to make millions of dollars or whatever? Well, I learned later that the point is they could show a bunch of crap movies that only 5 people will go to all day long and pay for that theater for the day with his movie, because it will sell out. And that was a lesson that I learned thanks to Joel Schumacher. And now it's like a piece of pride, like a badge for me that I got bumped from South by Joel Schumacher, so that's okay. And it was actually
That's a good way to think about it.
And it was actually a good movie. I liked Phone Booth actually.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, that to me is one of his better movies that doesn't get talked about. All right, that's it. That's my story. I love that story. Yep. It's
I
sad.
still love Batman and Robin.
Well,
it's bad, but I love it.
Well, I could tell you one thing about Batman and Robin. It has a beautiful 4K.
Oh yeah,
and it's entertaining.
Well, I mean,
let's not go too far.
Of it, or entertaining.
It's better than Black Hat.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
It's better than Catwoman.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Yes.
Yes, it
absolutely.
definitely is. It's definitely better than Catwoman.
Yes. We're talking the Halle Berry one.
Yes, the Halle Berry.
Yes, we're talking Halle
That
Berry.
is not Catwoman at all. Yes.
Yeah,
that's not even a question.
Yeah, that's true.
Garbage.
Y'all are
shocked.
awful.
Right.
Y'all are
so is every movie-going person who hates that movie.
Well, I don't know why they hate that movie, because that was the bee's knees with the cat nipped.
Oh,
that was
God.
almost as bad as the
We're
movie.
gonna be here for 3 hours if we have to discuss why Catwoman is.
I'm glad I have a
It's
cocktail.
a wonderful movie. Shut the hell up.
That's
How's
not
that
a true
CG
story.
doing
But
there, Nathan?
About that. All right,
Oh, man.
Tina, I think you have a story, right?
Yes. So we have just received
She said
word
yes.
that number 2 film exhibitor Regal Cinemas is requiring all patrons to wear face masks. And an updated policy made public on the chain's website. As related to our employees, guests will also be required to wear masks. Disposable masks will be made available as needed. Regal's previous policy was very similar to AMC's before it drew controversy, along with Cinemark's, which was that face mask wearing would be enforced in those areas, mandating them, but only encouraged in those pockets of America where restrictions have eased. We have yet to hear if Cinemark will update its policy. That chain opens a handful of cinemas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Earlier, Alamo Drafthouse released a statement that all moviegoers upon that chain's reopening will need to wear masks. In expounding on AMC's Flex face mask policy, CEO and President Adam Aron said that the chain was looking to avoid political controversy and insisting all moviegoers wear masks. Those remarks drew immediate backlash on social media, forcing the number one chain to reverse its policy and insisting that all moviegoers wear masks until further notice.
So AMC is the number one chain? Are they the number one?
Yeah, AMC's number one, Regal's number two.
Oh, okay.
And Regal will begin reopening its theaters on July 10th after being closed since March due to the coronavirus.
Oh, man. It's a countdown, y'all.
Yep.
I'm happy they're going to require people to wear masks, but I think they're going to run into the issue where people like are refusing to wear masks just to go to the grocery store or in general.
Well, then you can leave. This is a private business.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some stuff. I've seen some video online, and of course we've all seen the one viral video that came out. But I've seen other videos too of Costco turning people away. They're like, "No, you sorry, no mask." Now AMC is
and you could
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you could make some crappy argument about, like, grocery stores need to let a lot of people in because it's an essential thing to go to a grocery store to get food. But, like,
movies are a luxury at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no argument about how, like, a movie theater does not have to let you in its business.
Yeah, it's not an essential business. It's a fun thing.
How are they going to enforce it?
Well, I mean, they're going to
bring back the ushers.
Well, they haven't said that, but I don't think they're going to make you wear a mask in the theater when you're sitting. I think
how else are you going to eat the popcorn?
Yeah, I think the point is if you're not inside the theater sitting and watching your film, you put your mask on. You're going to go to the bathroom. You're going to get concessions. You come in and go. You put the mask on. Yeah, because once you're in the theater sitting, they've got social distancing happening anyway. They're only going to sell. What did I hear? Some theaters only going to sell
every third seat or something.
30% is what I heard.
But social distancing and you're laughing and hacking and coughing and sneezing and da da da.
Well, I mean, if
you need to leave.
Well, if somebody's hacking and coughing, that's a whole different thing. But the way I'm interpreting it, based on what I've seen, is when you sit in the theater, you're going to have a minimum of 3 seats on either side of you and in the front and back. So somebody's really got to be spitting it up to get it to you at that point.
Have they said if they're going to distance groups, like social distance? Is it social distance everybody or is it social distance?
I think it's social distance by household, I believe is what my understanding is. So if you come with a date, for example, I believe the way I've seen it is the 2 of you will sit together, but then there will have to be a minimum of three seats around you, not just in left and right, but in front.
Honestly, the thing that makes me more concerned at that point would be the recycled air, because it's been proven that the newest strain of coronavirus can live longer in recycled air.
Yeah,
so
and
that would be my biggest fear at that point.
Exactly, and I do kind of agree that could be a concern. But I know that they're also using the same fogging system that the airlines are using.
Yeah.
For cleaning, like inside the ductwork and all that stuff. And Regal has said they're going to do it between every show. So, I mean, I feel like if you take your mask off inside the theater, you probably are taking a very small chance. But I mean, I think it would be pretty minor.
At this point, I'm going to risk it for that popcorn.
I will say
I'm ready.
The problem with that fogging system, and I know from the aircraft, it really depends if the person is or the people are efficiently trained in using that fogging system correctly. Because what it basically is a handgun. And before I went on leave, I've been to stations where they just ran through with it, and I've been through stations where they went detail and we were waiting 30 minutes to go through with it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they go about it, and if you can even watch them do it.
You won't be allowed to watch them do it, I don't think. Yeah, I
No.
think they'll put you out of the theater because there's no point to cleaning it if they don't empty the theater.
But that's a good
you know-
point about trained in because you're gonna have high school kids, like the regular people who work at theaters right now, doing it, and it's like I would be curious to see the level of effort they really go through into that.
Because even with that fogging, that stuff has to sit and dry for about 10 to 15 minutes.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're adding extra time in between.
Yeah, they're cutting the
Yeah.
screenings back to allow at least 15 minutes. I think I've seen some
You're probably going to
theaters
see
say
like
30.
3 screenings a day.
But
Yeah.
it's going to take, if you're being thorough about it, you really, with that fogging machine, because you have to get up close with it,
Mm-hmm.
it will take a while to do a full
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and I think that's why some of even some of the chains are saying it's going to be 30 minutes between each screening. But I agree with that.
It's already usually 30 minutes, but it might be an hour.
Because even with just a regular plane, if they're doing it thorough, it's 30 minutes to do it and then another 10, 15 to let it dry.
Yeah.
Which
So
would be
we're-
about an hour.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to just see once they actually start how it is. Now I'm lucky; I have a couple of masks that have little ventilators on them, and I don't think too much about having it on. So if I do go, chances are I'm probably going to just leave it on. I probably will.
Unless,
would
I mean,
highly
there's like one other person in the theater.
Then I'm
they're
gonna take it
like,
off. Yeah,
You know, at the back of the theater, it's like, all right, well,
yeah, because that's no different than if you step outside and take your mask off when you're taking a walk and no one's around.
But I would highly recommend bringing sandy wipes and
Oh,
pocket
yeah.
sanitizer.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really go anywhere without that stuff. I always have some kind of sanitizer and a mask with me. And I think the plan that we had discussed before still stands for me is if I do go, it'll be on a Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah. And there's not that many people.
Mm-hmm. We'll take the
and
day
it's
off to
less
go see
chance
Tenet.
of a huge crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, I am glad though that I always have mixed feelings when I see people bend over to like pressure, especially Twitter pressure, because Twitter to me is not the real world. But I'm glad that this is happening. I think it's a smart thing. I'm glad that they changed their policy on it. Just put a mask on. It's not a big deal.
Well, yeah, if somebody makes a bad decision in the first place, it's good to see them correct themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know. I don't know how you guys are, but I'm still just watching the numbers to see how things go. But
I mean, Florida just hit 5,000 a day in a
Yeah.
day.
yeah, it's at this point you might be safer in the theater in Nashville than on the beach in Florida.
Yep.
It's so bad
Yep.
down there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. I guess we'll see when Tenet comes out, right? How long do we have?
Yeah.
A month?
Did they
A
push
little
that
over a month,
back
yeah.
a little
Yep.
bit?
Yeah,
it
they
got
pushed
pushed
it
into
like
August.
last weekend. Yeah.
When are they thinking for Mulan?
Mulan
Well,
is still
Mulan
the end of this
hasn't
month.
moved, so less than a month.
Yeah, it's still the end of July. Yeah. So that's the two movies right now that I'm most interested in is the live action Mulan and
Yeah.
Tenet.
I'll pass on Mulan. Sorry. No.
I don't know. I think Mulan looks pretty good. I think it looks like it could be really
Worth
and plus-
going to the theater? No. I will be going to Tenet because that is worth going to.
But here's the thing.
mean, fair enough.
If you
I
want
think-
to keep movie
I
theaters
think
going,
Mulan's worth.
Look
So I
at
think I
Nathan-
wanna see
look at
Mulan.
Nathan's
Worth a
I wanna see
Disney
it.
He
Plus.
was gonna say some shit like this. I knew he
I
was
mean,
Nathan
if
is
you-
trying to trigger.
if you want to keep
Yeah.
theaters going,
So
if you want your theaters to stay alive and afloat, you need to go see Mulan, baby.
You know what? Movie.
So I will
movies
go
better
see
be
Mulan
good to go
2 weeks
to.
after it's been in theaters. It's like we're gonna wait a couple weeks, see how theater reopening has actually affected, and then if it seems good, yeah, I'll go see Mulan.
Yeah, actually, that timing is really good because it takes about 2 weeks to see what the impact is. So if it opens mid-July, we'll know by 1st of August how it went.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But Nathan's sitting over there. I
You
know
gotta
that
go
low.
see shitty fucking
Low-
movies. Keep
you
your
pay.
theater alive.
It's not that shitty if you bid for it for film ball, bitch.
Is that
True.
even going at this point? Is
That's
it-
not true.
No, no,
That's
we
not
haven't done
true.
so.
Yeah, we bid for some pretty shitty movies in film hall, so don't play.
Mulan is not
Yeah.
a shitty movie.
All
Because
right.
Beauty and the
Well,
Beast was so good. Because
Oh.
Dumbo was so good.
Beauty and the Beast was.
Oh
Zach?
boy.
What's
Oh,
that?
man.
The Lion King was a giant piece of shit? What?
People like.
So now you're going to
Maleficent?
remake
Well,
another
Zach,
one.
remember Nathan liked Catwoman. You're not going to win this argument.
True.
There is no argument, you fucktard.
Once another, was Cinderella really improved upon the original, right? You don't even
It was
remember
nice
that
to
movie,
see
do
it
you?
in a live action take.
Was it?
Yes, it was nice.
What are you drinking, Nathan?
Speaking of live action,
Nice transition. All right, so let's talk about live action.
I tried.
It was a good try. It was a good try.
You laid a solid foundation.
You did.
Oh, good one.
Oh,
She wins it. All right, so we're talking about the trailer that released this week for Foundation, coming on Apple TV. Everybody watched it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that one,
Yes.
that is probably my all-time favorite series of science fiction books. The first Foundation trilogy. There's 4 books. I've read the first 3. 4th one came out much later. In the trailer, they talk about how it was a major influence on Star Wars, and I believe that to 100% be true. Except Foundation is better than Star Wars. There's no arguing that because it's Isaac Asimov. He's one of the greatest science fiction writers ever. So, what did you guys think of the trailer?
I think it looks fantastic. And I'm glad that I have my iPad so I can watch it.
I was super disappointed to see the trailer and then find out it's not till next year.
Yeah.
Nico, are you familiar with these books?
yeah.
at all?
It looks only on the basis level.
Yeah.
I haven't read any of the Foundation books, but the trailer looks really good.
Take the
It's got a
cookies
really
back.
good looking cast. In
I
it,
don't
too.
want the pizza! Because they saw you.
Our audio listeners are going to be really confused at this point.
I'll take the pizza.
Now
Give
it
us
smells
the
like pizza
Switch.
in here.
But yeah, but
Go ahead.
overall, I like the trailer a lot. I am also happy that Tina has an iPad so that we can watch it. I'm excited. I'm very impressed because it looks like an expensive project,
Yeah.
and you don't typically see this kind of effort in terms of at least like the CGI and the design work in streaming service sci-fi. And it's not like we haven't had streaming service sci-fi before.
No, we have
but
a great.
This is
We have
looking
a
like
great
a step up.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a great series in The Expanse. The Expanse has been really good. It's over on Amazon Prime, but it looks like Battlestar Galactica at its best from 10 years ago.
So
I mean, it
wait,
just-
the Foundation's on.
Yeah,
Apple
it is.
TV.
It's
Apple
TV
TV.
sci-fi.
Yeah, it's cheap looking. But
Yeah.
this thing's really struck me that they're putting,
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, you got Expanse of. Yeah, you got Expanse over on Amazon Prime. You got like Altered Carbon over on Netflix. Like none of these shows are matching up to what looks like the level of effort that Apple is putting into Foundation.
Well-
The only thing that kind of irks me is I'm not a big David Goyer fan, but
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
always awful.
But if you look
he's-
at sorry,
No, go ahead.
if you look at like the Apple TV's like shows, they are all pretty good quality.
I
What
haven't
I've
heard of
seen is
one.
good. What?
Outside of this, I haven't heard of like any.
So,
like,
sir,
no
Defending
let me-
show-
Jacob
shows.
was really
hold on.
good.
No
The what?
shows that everyone's like, you need to see it.
the what?
Everything's
Tina?
just been.
Defending Jacob. But then again, I could be biased.
So I haven't watched Defending Jacob.
It's the
but I
Chris
have-
Evans show.
Oh, of course. I have watched The Servant, and it's the best thing that M. Night
Mm-hmm.
Shyamalan has done. I mean, it's so good.
The Servant's good. I started the morning show with Jennifer Aniston and
Yeah, I heard that's
Reese
really good.
Witherspoon.
Yeah, but you
That's
like
good.
Catwoman. This thing.
Now, I will say, like, 2 of the lead actors I am super excited for because Foundation, 2 of the lead actors, it's Lee Pace, which, come on, it's Lee Pace.
Yeah.
And then the second one is Jared Harris, who did Legacy
Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Of course.
He did. He was at Chernobyl as one of the
Yeah.
main actors. He was also a pretty big supporting role in a couple seasons of Mad Men.
Mhm.
So
He
he's
was
an
also
actor I
in The
like too,
Expanse,
watching his
Mhm.
things.
So
He was in
Good.
he was in Carnival Row on Amazon Prime.
yeah.
So
and Resident Evil Apocalypse.
of course, I think both of those names are names that people might not recognize, but when you see them, you'll be like, oh, that guy. Kind of the way Paul Giamatti was for 20 years of his career. Now people actually know his name, but for a long time, it's Pig Vomit. That's Pig
I
Vomit.
think Lee Pace might have more of a name recognition just because of The Hobbit and Guardians of the Galaxy and that kind of thing. So.
Speaking of The Hobbit, I didn't actually put it in the rundown, but you know that somebody else died.
Yeah, the animated
Ian Holm. Ian Holm, the
Ian
guy
Holm,
who
and then
Ian, that's true. The apparently I don't know how recent that one was. The team is talking about the guy who played Bilbo in the Rankin and Bass Hobbit movie also passed away this year.
Oh wow!
But the recent one was Ian Holm, who plays Bilbo in the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings, yeah.
And that was Friday.
Small
Martin
cameo
Freeman
appearance.
Martin Freeman must be scared right now.
Martin Freeman's sweating. all the Bilbos are falling this year.
Right. So speaking of Paul Giamatti, I transitioned myself into that real quick. As far as what I've been binging, I started watching Billions. Do you guys know the show Billions?
No.
Heard of it.
So
I only know it because I know Paul Giamatti's in it.
Yeah. So last week on the show, Kiara had popped in on the YouTube channel and mentioned to me that she really wanted me to take a look at it, that it's so good. And it has this Paul Giamatti, and then his sort of nemesis in it, and now I'm drawing a blank on his name, was the main bad guy in season 1 of Homeland. Basically, Paul Giamatti works for the SEC, and he goes after people like, Enron types, investment bankers and that kind of thing. And then he's going against this guy who is a super brilliant guy, like investment banker guy who's shady as fuck. And I've watched 3 episodes, and she's right. It's really good. I don't care about investment banking stuff, but it's really good. If you need something new, I highly recommend jumping on HBO Max and giving a couple episodes a try. Is someone listening to music, by the way?
Mm-mm.
I hear something. Zach, is that you?
No.
Are you doing something?
I mean, I had something play for like literally a second, but
Yeah.
that was about a minute ago.
I don't hear
It's
anything right
raining
now.
over
Maybe you're just
here,
hearing
but I
things.
don't think
It
that
could
would
be. Maybe the tinnitus is kicking in. Anyway, that's what
Could be the
I'm.
rain.
Yeah,
maybe.
Oh, I don't hear that in here. But I've been watching that. Of course, I'm in season 7, 3/4 of the way through season 7, 24. And I started looking at a little bit of this Andre Braugher show on Hulu called Thief. And it was an FX show. It got canceled, but it was lucky for them. I was reading about it. When it got canceled, it was 6 episodes in, and its story arc was complete. So now they were kind of pushing it on Hulu as a miniseries because you get the complete story. And anything Andre Braugher, I've got to go back and look at the show that you guys like that he's in, the comedy.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
Brooklyn. God.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Because
one of the NBC sitcoms.
Exactly. But I've liked Andre Braugher since a show called Homicide, Life on the Street, and then he was good in The Mist and a lot of other things. So, and that one's okay. It's all right. I've watched 2 episodes of the 6. I'll finish at some point. What are you guys looking at?
Oh yeah, this does look pretty good. I was just looking at that one. That looks pretty good. I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, and apparently in 6 episodes you get the whole story, so it's worth the time.
My brother's been trying to talk me into watching What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I hate that movie.
So I might give that a shot. Maybe.
I think I'm going to start Love Victor.
I think it's
on
mostly the
Hulu.
show is what he's watching.
Yeah. What did you say, Nathan?
I was recommended to watch Love Victor on Hulu, which is a series opposite of the movie Love Simon.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I haven't seen any of it. I've heard good things, though.
It's gay.
It is. You guys looking at anything else? What are you looking at, Zach?
Surprise.
It's shocking.
I watched Scream Queen off of Shudder.
Which you said was okay.
That's all right.
I've heard good things. I'm going to look at it.
I would probably recommend it now that you have my login.
You're right.
Let's see.
I was telling Zach last night that, and we've talked about these situations on the podcast before, but I got to this point where I kind of started feeling like I was getting nickel and dime to death by streaming services, and I've just sort of been letting them lapse, the ones that I don't use, and I let Shudder go. And there's no reason. Shudder's really good. It's just I feel like I caught up. I watched. They don't add things to the level of the other guys, and I just felt like I had caught up. So now it's time to go back and look at stuff again. And I let Netflix go, and I told them I'm probably going to let Disney Plus go. I mean, I'm spending all of my time on Hulu and HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm watching the Harry Potters on HBO Max right now.
Wow, did you need something to watch, sir?
I was just fascinated because they were all lined up, and I was like, "Oh, I'll start it." But I did see the trailer for season 4 of Handmaid's Tale on Hulu today.
Yeah, that should be coming soon. I hope. I really want to see that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We still haven't finished.
What the living hell? Zach hasn't either, but he's stupid. You guys have no excuse.
We are so close to being done with season 3. It's not even funny at this point.
It's so good. It's so good. And I'm so annoyed that Zach isn't watching it because it's one of the most beautifully shot TV series out there. I mean,
It is
I
beautifully
just don't want to
shot.
feel. Sometimes you just don't want to feel
Yeah,
awful.
But you don't feel awful. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
is kind of the
awful,
thing.
though.
go ahead, Nico.
No, I could see it because that show is a very emotionally trying series to watch.
Nico and I
The
will be
part we left
sitting
off
there
in
and he'll
season
just be like,
3 is when they were.
Well, I don't think Zach
Yeah,
is anywhere near season
it's
3.
not to give anything away. It's the part. Yeah, it's the part where they're filming the thing out in the live studio audience with.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That's so dark.
Yeah, you know.
That's
Yeah.
so dark.
And she's just steaming, and then it's like I need a break. I need to like stay away from this for like a month because this is so intense, and I need to come down off of
Literally
that.
the last episode we watched.
Anybody who challenges, let's see, Kiara is in here. They're watching Perry Mason. Kiara says they're watching Perry Mason, and I see Perry Mason did just start on.
I want to try that.
I can't figure. Yeah,
HBO.
Kiara, we're talking about Handmaid's Tale. But I can't figure out. Perry Mason used to be a lawyer, but now he's some kind of like badass like detective or something. It seems very. Not that I care because I have no investment in Perry Mason.
Ooh, echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. I was trying to mess with my mic.
But back to what we were saying though. Anytime you want to question me about Angela Moss as an actress, look at that episode
You
you're
mean
talking.
Angela Moss,
Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss. When look at that episode, she doesn't say anything.
Yeah,
But
she is.
damn, she's so
Yeah.
good.
No,
Yes, and you
she
look so good.
perfected the whole acting with just facial expressions
Mm-hmm.
because it's intense. Some of the stuff that she has to do in there.
Which is kind of also she does that really well. Also in the Invisible Man,
Yeah.
having her face just show kind of the psychosis, how she's just kind of being driven nuts by this thing.
Yep.
So she's really good. She's a great
really
actress.
good. But I feel like it's the Handmaid's Tale is super dark. It is, but in a weird way, like when I watch it because of June, her character in particular, you can feel hopeful too because she's so determined. You feel like if anybody can get through it and change something, it's going to be this character because she's so badass, you know. So I binge watch the heck out of it. The problem is when the new seasons start, they only do once a week,
Mm-hmm.
and that sucks.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some. Who's got the next story?
Oh,
Nathan.
well, Unsolved Mysteries is heading to Netflix. The streaming service is bringing back the iconic series for 12 new episodes, 6 of which will debut on July 1st. The trailer, which dropped on Tuesday, gives off the Unsolved Mysteries vibes that fans know and love, fusing compelling interviews and reenactments. The reboot centers on a new batch of inexplicable cases, that the trauma of loved ones' unexplained disappearance or horrific death to the shock of a paranormal encounter. The creators of the original Unsolved Mystery, Terry Dunn Meyer and John Cosgrove, are executive producing the reboot under the Cosgrove Productions. The new show is also co-produced by 21 Laps Entertainment, the producers of Stranger Things. Unsolved Mysteries premiered as a series of 7 specials on NBC in 1987. It became a full-time series in 1988 and ran on the network until 1997. The show then jumped to CBS for 2 more seasons before getting canceled. Lifetime revived it 1 year later in 2000, but ended in 2002. Unsolved Mysteries was again revived in 2008 by Spike TV before it ended in 2010.
See, I feel like this is a '90s kids thing because it's not that good. It's like
I loved it.
but it's like a serious nostalgia thing because
Do you
I
know
mean-
how many times I would be sick from school and just sitting there with my chicken noodle soup
And
and
Sprite
watching
crackers.
watching
Right.
about murder mysteries and alien abductions and
Yep.
stuff? Like right after The Price is
I mean,
Right.
to be
it's like,
fair,
boom.
you would be watching that now if you were sick
It's
at home.
true.
yeah, it's true.
It is very true.
I mean, it's the perfect timing. If we're all going to be with Corona, might as well watch some
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries.
I mean, and I guess I get that, but and maybe
That
it's
is the
just-
unsolved mystery.
That is it's true. I don't feel like for me, unless it's one big unsolved mystery that stretches the entire season, that I'm going to be able to invest. I feel like if it's a one-off, I won't binge it, and we'll see
Yeah.
though. We'll see.
I think my favorite were the episodes where it's like, if you remember this story, we have an update. And it's like,
Mhm.
ooh. tell me
Okay,
the
I always
juicy
like those
details.
episodes.
But it's almost
Yeah.
like when you get lost in the show Cheaters late at night, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh,
But-
okay.
But what if you do good things and you don't get lost in crap TV?
Well, then you don't get to see a guy get stabbed on a boat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm good with
Yeah.
that. So here's an interesting one. In the chat room, Kiara says, let me read her comment to you guys. Yellowstone just started again, and she said, you're talking about a beautifully shot show. It's on Paramount. Paramount is a fascinating streaming service to me because no one talks about it. I don't know anyone that has it, but it has some A-list projects over there. It has why am I drawing a blank on his name? Kevin Costner. Is
Yeah,
that the
Kevin Costner's in Yellowstone.
Isn't
Yeah,
Paramount like on Hulu?
I don't think so. Is it?
Oh, wait.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because I heard really good things about this Yellowstone show and how good he is in it, but I haven't found a way to watch it other than subscribing to the Paramount streaming service. Kiara, if you're still in the chat room, tell us how you watch it because it's fascinating because they have a lot of stuff on there. I went to their website and took a look.
So you can find Yellowstone season 3 live stream with an active subscription to like AT&T. Like if you have like network TV, you can watch it, and it won't be on Hulu.
I mean, you could do it with Hulu Live TV or
Paramount Network website.
Yeah, that's how I tried to look at it. Was on their website, and it was clunky as hell.
This is very clunky.
Yeah,
Holy
it's
cow.
crap. So I mean, maybe I guess you could do it with Hulu Live TV or maybe YouTube Live TV. Maybe it's just I don't understand exactly what they're doing though. It's kind of weird. But I hear that Yellowstone is amazing. And she also says
You have to have a cable provider to watch this crap.
Well, I have a DirecTV.
Well, you know, for some of us, we don't.
So Kiara says that Unsolved Mysteries was replaced by America's Most Wanted for her, which is another show that I don't know. I just couldn't get into. She says it's really good though. I don't know. It's weird. If you guys want to look at something and see if you can figure it out, that Paramount TV streaming thing, it's just like I did look at it when Kevin Costner was getting all the buzz for it for 2 minutes. Alrighty, Nico, is it your turn?
Yes. All right. So going back to movies and comics, Michael Keaton may once again don the cape and cowl. After nearly 30 years, Michael Keaton is in talks to return to the role of Batman in the upcoming DC movie The Flash, starring Ezra Miller. The Wrap broke this story recently that says that Keaton is in talks in very early stages, so no done deal yet, no details on how big or small of a role that Keaton will have. The film is supposedly going to introduce general movie audiences to the old comic idea of a multiverse or alternate universes. Differences between the universes could be slight or huge, like different incarnations of the same character being explained away by different actors. So that's how you could have a Michael Keaton and George Clooney and Val Kilmer and Christian Bale be Batman. Oh, that's all true. CW fans and on the TV side are already going to get some exposure to this. The Arrowverse has covered multiverses for several years now. And in fact, in the recent Arrowverse crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths, we saw the TV Barry Allen Flash, played by Grant Gustin, meeting his movie counterpart Ezra Miller. Keaton first appeared as Batman in the Tim Burton 1989 movie Batman, and again in 1992's Batman Returns, both blockbusters. We don't know if it's necessarily the same Batman or just a different older Bruce he's playing. This won't have any effect, though, on the Matt Reeves upcoming The Batman starring Robert Pattinson.
Okay, hot take. This is a wasted opportunity.
What do you mean?
They should have just done Batman Beyond.
Oh, I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a standard take. I've seen a lot of people hoping that this builds into a Batman Beyond.
Just make
movie.
Batman Beyond. If they had announced it with Keaton returning, do you know how high the hype would have been?
Oh, so high.
Because this is just Michael Keaton's returning. It's not Michael Keaton's returning, and it's going to be Bruce Wayne, and they're making Batman Beyond. It's just, oh, sweet, Batman's coming.
Yeah, now
I think it still could be that.
It could also just be a overhyped cameo too, which is kind of.
I think that's that's the bit about we don't know what level of role that he's going to have. Like for instance, in the Arrowverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths, they essentially had this. They had Kevin Conroy, who has been the voice of Batman in Batman the Animated Series and follow-up shows and a lot of the movies since 1992 when that show started. And so he's one of the preeminent Batman actors, even if it's only in voice. But he got to make his live-action Bruce Wayne debut in this kind of an older Batman role that's very much kind of what this would be. So it was essentially a cameo. It was there for a few scenes. It's not like he's a lasting presence on the show. It was only for that miniseries. This could be a glorified cameo, or maybe it could spin off to a Batman Beyond movie afterwards.
But doesn't it feel like, to my other concern is that the DC cinematic blah 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 bullshit hasn't even found its footing, and they already want to introduce multiverses? I feel like things could quickly
What do
get
you mean
convoluted.
found its footing? It hasn't even found its shoes.
Well, that's what I mean. That's the thing.
I think the other way could be true. I think if DC goes in an approach that really embraces the fact that, it's all true, I think that could open some neat opportunities for some of the movies it's going to make in the future. It may not have to be as cohesively linear as the Marvel Cinematic Universe going in an approach like this.
I hate to say it, but I'd rather them just do one-offs. Instead of having everything be connected, I'd rather have good one-offs.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is how they could do. I think this is how they have both. I think this is a way that they could explain away having one-offs and still claim that it's tied to a cinematic multiverse, as opposed to
as soon
just
as
being standalone one-offs.
As soon as they dip their toe into this is all a universe, they're not going to just lightly touch it. It's too big a pie to not just shove your face in. They're going to go.
I don't think that's true. I think
I think that's
I
absolutely
don't
true.
think
They
that's
want
true.
that Marvel money, and
I think that's fair.
They get the opportunity.
They do. Yeah, they
try
do.
for it.
Who doesn't want the Marvel? I want the Marvel money.
Same.
I want the Marvel Chris.
I'd rather.
I will
have
give
Joker
Disney
money.
my bank account info to give me the Marvel money.
I'd rather have Joker money where we spent $50 million and got $1 billion.
Yeah, but I don't
I
like
mean,
to
that's
be a
also good,
plagiarist. I don't want to plagiarize.
It was a $50 million budget and made $1 billion, no matter how much it copied.
Yeah, but
That's a
I
fact.
can't be a criminal and do it though. I have a conscience.
Do you, sir?
Well, it was the
I do.
Joker.
Or you can spend $300 million on Justice League and get what, 700?
It's
Boy, what a
it's
great
it's.
And apparently, Justice League is the gift that keeps on giving.
I was gonna say it's the long game, baby. That's what's happening with that. I don't know. I love Michael Keaton. I love the idea of seeing him as Bruce Wayne again. I think that he's still probably the best Bruce Wayne. But I don't know. I feel like this is going to either be convoluted or an overhyped cameo. I don't feel like it's going to work.
I hope it's not just a cameo. I hope there's some meat to it. Otherwise, outside of this, I really don't care too much about the movie. So like one way or the other, I don't have any high hopes for the Flash movie. This is the only thing that's really like piqued my interest to see this movie.
Well, that movie's had a lot of controversy anyway because what's his last name? Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller.
Didn't he have his own script that he got pissed off over that they didn't use or something? He wrote a script for it.
I know that he's had some controversy. Apparently, he got into a fight and maybe choked somebody in a bar in Europe or something. So there's that whole thing. I don't know. And it's also been that DC hasn't. This movie's been gestating for years.
Yeah. Well, and there's the other elephant in the room too, which is Michael Keaton is appearing to be playing an important part in Sony's Spider-Verse stuff because he's been in the
his
Spider-Man
character's
movie.
Theoretically still alive.
Yeah, and he's in the end of spoilers. He's in the end of Venom. So I mean, they're leading up to something with him.
Oh
there,
yeah,
so
that's right. He was.
Mm-hmm. He's like, "What's up?" at the end, or whatever. So we're gonna see him again. So it's gonna be a little weird to see him across two.
I'm fine with it. Cross the streams. I'm okay with it.
Cross the streams.
It's like the weird Nick Fury of like. I'm here to talk to you about Spider Initiative.
What if he led us?
I'm here to talk to you about the Sinister Six initiative.
No.
What if he's the catalyst that eventually leads us to a Justice League Avengers crossover?
Okay.
All right, I'm fine with that. I'm good. Let's do it.
That will never happen, and you know it because half the movie would be garbage.
It happened in the floppies. Speaking of floppies, let's do Blu-rays first.
Well, actually, you're jumping ahead.
Well,
wait a moment. That's not the order.
I probably shouldn't be. I should have just jumped ahead because this is a really crap week for Blu-ray releases. The only thing that's out that I want to see this week is Portrait of a Lady on Fire is out from Criterion. Should be on 4K.
It's a 4K Masters shot in 6K.
I know. South Park season
Criterion,
20.
get it together.
Right. South Park season 23. House of Wax 3D. This is the old like Vincent Price House of Wax in 3D. It's out. Dream Demon and The Road to Wellville are all out. So,
just curious, if you do want to see Portrait of a Lady on Fire in 4K,
yeah.
Well, too bad, doesn't exist. I hope you find a DCP somewhere and can play it.
Does Hulu stream anything in 4K? Because I know the movie's on Hulu.
Sorry, took off my headphones for a second. So here's something funny. Ada went to the store yesterday. Actually, went into Best Buy for I don't remember. She was going for something, and she was looking in Steelbooks, asking if I wanted anything. And I did tell her I wanted one thing, which was this guy.
Oh boy!
Am I frozen? I can
No.
No.
Nope.
Oh,
no. I see. The movie's Braveheart for our studio audience.
Yeah, on Steelbook. Yeah, on 4K. I did want that. But then she diluted the streams by buying this for some reason.
What?
Spies in disguise.
Why? Why would you do that?
Literally,
That seems like it.
She liked the art on the cover. That is it.
I mean, if you take the disc out
She
and
hasn't
just have
seen
it
the
as
movie
art,
yet?
No.
Oh,
She's
wow.
like, take a chance. Because it was marked retail 35 and she talked the guy at Best Buy and let her have it for 19. Literally, I'm on the phone with her listening to her talking.
You can talk Best Buy down on. Wow.
If you can
Ada
talk Best Buy
can.
down,
I was gonna
Ada
say,
needs to
Let
have a
me
class.
put this in simple terms. We cannot. Ada can.
Exactly.
Ada's like the weird.
Okay,
like,
yeah, it's true.
sales
It's
Yeah,
fair.
because she literally looked at the guy and said, "Now you know I wouldn't give you 35 for this, but if it was 19, I'd buy it." He's like, "Okay," and he marked it down.
Oh my god.
Fascinating to listen to. She's like, "I would give you 19 because I like the art on the Steelbook," and he legit did it. I'm like, "Okay." So that's Ada.
Wow.
Ada is who I want to be when I grow
She
up.
doesn't even have to speak. She just gives a look.
Right? It's terrifying. And you're
I
like,
know.
okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. It's kind of hot too. That's okay.
Oh boy.
All right. So what do we got on funny books?
And comics. From Image Comics, we have Die number 11. Die is the role-playing story where they get sucked into a game, and it's all very terrible and dark and very excellent. It's a great book.
Very
Very
excellent.
beautiful artwork by Stephanie Hans. It's definitely one of my favorite current ongoing indie books. Over at Marvel, we have Empire Avengers number 0. It's the kickoff of the Empire storyline. That's mostly going to be Avengers and Fantastic Four doing space stuff. It's Marvel's big summer event. Over also at Marvel in the House of Ideas, we have Thor number 5. Thor right now is kind of a herald of Galactus, so it's kind of interesting. Over in DC, we have Green Lantern 80th anniversary 100-page super spectacular number 1. So it's got about 10 stories about Green Lantern, just celebrating the whole 80-year history of the character. And then over in IDW, we have the first of a 10-issue miniseries called Sleeping Beauties, which is based off of a horror novel by Stephen and his son Owen King.
It's a great
being adapted into a
So
yeah,
on that,
those are the main books coming out. There's more as well in your shops.
let me just say really quick on that one. Hang on one sec. I'm going to do this. Where is it? There it is. That artwork
Yeah,
is gorgeous. That cover art is
yeah.
beautiful. As is, by the way, these are on CultureSmash.tv right now if you want to see them. The Thor artwork, I think, is really nice. Now, I don't know. Can you guys see that the Thor artwork?
No.
No.
Not the Thor one.
it didn't-
You've got
it
the
didn't
Sleeping
refresh.
Beauties one.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's you can see on CultureSmash.tv, and Nico provided the cover art for those. They're like gorgeous. I think the Green Lantern one, I actually like that one because it reminds me of old school like 80s kind of cover art. But the Sleeping
It
Beauties,
is. It's a very classic looking.
yeah. And you said it's short stories, right? It's a collection.
The Green Lantern one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically just short stories of various Green Lantern stories covering the various Green Lanterns throughout all the 80-year history.
That's fun.
DC's kind of in a weird time space right now where they're hitting a lot of 80th anniversaries, pretty much one after another, after another, after another. Like we just had Catwoman and Joker also both had recent ones over the last month or two. So, it's just their thing. But yeah, I really did like the cover that I used for showcasing that Green Lantern one.
Mhm.
But there are a lot of variant covers. They typically, what they do is there's one main one, and then there's a variant for each decade that's kind of iconic of that decade, tries to copy some of the art style of that decade, maybe have an artist who was prominent in that decade with that character do that one.
That's awesome.
And is in the case was like when they did the Batman one of these. So yeah, they're really cool.
And see, that's one of those situations where it makes me not want to buy it. It makes me want to wait to see if it gets put out in some kind of collection where you get all the art. Because I love that when you get a collection and it has all the variant covers in one book. I don't know if that'll happen because this is a one-off. It usually happens more with a collected run, but still, I would love to have all the art. Different
Yeah.
colors. Cool.
I'm kind of curious if they're going to put together an 80th anniversary compilation, like a big book that's just here's all the Batman and Green Lanterns and Catwoman's, all of those. Because otherwise, like this book is like $10 because it's 100 pages. It's
Holy
a thick
cow.
book. So
Oh, wow.
as is, it's perfect bound. It's not saddle stitch stapled like your traditional comic. It's basically a mini trade
Graphic novel.
paperback.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right.
Back
Here's-
in over here,
thank you.
Mr. Miyagi.
Steven's got the corona.
And Ron, I shot it across. See, you should have been wearing your mask. See, put it on. All right, let's bring this thing to an end. Unless you guys got anything else pertinent. Are we good?
I mean, never, but
Yep. Well, that's
true.
debatable.
That's true. All right. Well, it was a good show, you guys. I'll see you guys all in the theater except Nathan because he sucks.
You want to do the where can we find you?
Yeah, we're gonna look at it. Oh, he's back. He turned his camera off for a minute. Nico, where do we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under Nico Scream, either posting about Dungeons and Dragons or vegetables that I took from my dad's garden.
Delicious. Tina?
You can find me Twitter and Instagram under Cheddar Popper, ChedrPoppr. Mostly post about what I'm reading, sometimes new movies that I see, and here soon, probably a copious amount of puppy pictures.
You said copious. Don't use those big words. Zach doesn't know what you're doing. Nathan?
You can find me on Instagram at Nate_R_70. And then you can find me on Switch, Nate70471, playing Dead by Daylight.
Zach boy?
You can find me on Instagram. I am Master of the Matrix 91. You can also find me on Steam as a dangerous mute lunatic, as well as Discord, where I play Dead by Daylight, the good version, with friends.
You don't have friends. Stop. So you can find me on all things Culture Smash. Culture Smash TV has Nico's comics list up as we speak. And then, of course, mostly on the Facebook page. And then Off the Shelf Movie Night on YouTube, showing up all the physical media goodness that's happening. I guess that'll be it. I guess we'll see everybody next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.